Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Q&A. We'll wait a couple more minutes, maybe just a minute, for more people to join in. See if we can catch any more stragglers before we get into it. But essentially, today we're just going over random questions, whatever issues or questions you have in general. And then we may go over statements because it is the beginning of the month, so I'm sure that we have some statement questions. If not, that's good. And then for anybody who hasn't joined or is new, to ask a question, you'll want to hit the react button and then raise your hand there, and then we can call on you as they come in. All right, anybody have any questions? Will's got one.
Since you brought up statements, my question was, are you guys in the process of getting it where you can add a late fee to those statements? Because right now you can only do it per ticket, or you would have to go in and add something. You can't do a statement charge, like let's say they didn't meet the net 30 terms. Or let's say that you want to put, if they're going to use a credit card to pay that we're going to charge you 3%.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's posed that idea. I'm sure some people have mentioned it, but as of right now, I don't think I have anything off the top of my head, unless if Chris or Mike have anything that they know of that was asked a while ago.
Yeah, someone put it in for development. We just haven't been doing anything new, so we haven't been focused on anything else besides the delivery app. So the team that does that, that would be the team that's actually working on the delivery app. So we probably won't visit that until probably the next 4 weeks or so.
Do you guys have anything planned? I was just on a DLI call this morning. Do you guys have any AI that you're going to roll out for the clean show at all? Or is it mainly you guys are going to focus on your delivery app for the clean show?
Yeah, as far as for the clean show, I don't think we're gonna have anything as far as our AI stuff, AI related stuff ready to go by the clean show. So you probably won't see any of that at the clean show. But it is something that Bill and like Josh and the rest of us have been talking about and kind of dealing with development with. So probably won't see it this year just because it's a month away, a couple of months
Yeah,
away. So
got it. Okay, appreciate it.
All right, and for those who joined a little bit later, if you are new or um, already know how to raise your hand, but you can go ahead and hit the react button and then hit the raise hand, and then we can call on you. All right, perfect. So we got Daria.
Hi, I was wondering, does anybody else charge for pickup and delivery like a flat fee? I guess why we're asking this is we've been getting more will call people that are like more DoorDash, I guess, essentially. And it just seems like such a waste to go for that one time. So we were wondering if there's any way to do like a flat fee and to charge for that.
Yeah, so I would say it's not super common that people charge specifically for pickup and delivery. The one way that some companies do to, kind of get their money's worth, I would say, is
Hmm.
to put in like a fuel cost or something like that. They don't necessarily label it as a delivery fee, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
okay.
But
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's definitely possible. You can make a surcharge for a fuel fee, or if you did want to label it a delivery fee and then have it work for all route orders, you could do that. And then if there's any customers that you don't want it to work on, you can go individually and remove that for them.
Okay, so it would probably just be easier to do a surcharge as like a fuel fee for the
Ye-
people that are more will call. Because we don't want to charge our regular route customers. That should be a service where we're going weekly. That's no issue. It's the ones that are like, oh, hey, can you deliver this? It's like, well, yeah, but it's going to cost you.
Yeah, yep. So there are definitely some methods around doing that, but yeah, I would definitely say a surcharge would be the way to go. And then if you want to get really minute with it and only reach out to will call customers, that's a little bit more difficult, but you can always look at setting a brand or pulling a KPI for those specific customers and then going through and setting it in their customer settings.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Christy.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing okay. A question about a couple of annoyances when you're setting up a new customer. Um, the first thing is like you type it in their name and their address. Once you type it all in, and once you save it, it capitalizes the whole address thing, which is kind of weird. Only because like if you're doing maybe you're doing a snail mail out or something, and then you're printing out something you need to mail to them, and it has their name, and then it has big all caps, here's your address. I don't know why it does that. It's weird. You don't type
Uh,
it in that way.
yeah, I don't think it's supposed to correct to all caps. I don't think it does that regularly.
Is it just a little glitch somewhere? I don't know.
I think we're about to test it on our side to just double
Okay.
verify, but because I'm not sure if you guys heard that entire conversation between Chris and Mike through my mic, but
No.
okay, that's good. So essentially, it doesn't do it in the KPI, but yeah, it did. Once I hit save and once I hit create, it did change everything to uppercase in the profile. So it didn't do it at the add customer screen, but as soon as I go into the customer profile, it's all uppercase.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, visually on the account is in all uppercase, but when you pull reports for it and you export the data from Smart, it should still be in all lowercase. So it doesn't it's not capitalized outside of Smart. It's only capitalized on the profile view screen.
On the view screen. Okay. So like
Correct.
I have some older customers that I have to snail mail their, statements to every month, and I don't want it to like show up all weird,
Yeah, it
on
won't. So
the
like on their
bill.
statements, yeah, so on the statements everything is going to be still lowercase like normal or standard capitalization,
Okay.
but in the system for the view of it all, it's always going to be capitalized.
Okay. Is there a reason why y'all did that for just the addresses? I don't know.
Don't let me lie to you. I have no idea.
Okay.
But but yeah, it's definitely something we can look at.
Okay. In the same vein, on the customer for the putting in a new customer. So you go to the first screen, name, address, and all that, and your POS or statement and things like that. And then it's kind of annoying. You have to hit save for that page, right? And then it bumps you back out to that screen where you put in an order. And then to go in and change every tab in that customer screen, you have to save each one, bump out, go back in, go to the next tab, bump out. You know what I'm saying? Is there
No,
a way to save it all at once and not have to go in and do each individual tab setting for a customer?
yeah, that's one of my next projects for our team. It's just more so like a cohesive kind of thing versus kind of going back and forth kind of thing. So, it's
Yeah.
definitely on the list of things to do. It's just that we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that. That's it for me for now.
All right, sounds good. Okay, I think a few more people joined. If you are new here and you don't know how to raise your hand already, you can go ahead and hit the react button and then hit raise hand, and you can ask your question when we call on you. All right, let's go to Christy.
Okay. Um, do you know the logic behind what emails what billing emails go to the billing email address versus like if I understand like if I run a statement for a customer, that's going to get emailed to whatever that billing email address is. But if I need to send an invoice, you know, I was like, I'll pull up an order, right? And it says email to customer. Does that go to the email address listed in the main part of it, the upper email address or the billing email address?
So
How do I know which one it's going to?
anything dealing with payments, payment receipts, order receipts, financial transactions, anything like that will always go to the billing email address first. The only thing that if you have a billing email address and a email, like a standard email, the standard email gets like the order ready notifications if they don't have a cell phone, and they get like the basic communication templates, but anything that references financial transactions will go to the billing email address.
Okay. So if I've got like a one-time, somebody different needs one particular invoice or whatever, I need to go add them to the billing email address, at least temporarily, so that they will get that.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And actually, Christy, you just reminded me of something. There are 2 new settings that have been added within the last week. Well, actually, since the last time that we all spoke here on Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick, and I can show you exactly where they are and explain what they do. Okay, so if everybody can see this, so the first one, and this is all in the same spot. So we went to business settings, system settings, and then under the company settings tab, scrolling down to the first one is ignore undelivered orders for will call opt-in reminders. This has been heavily requested for quite some time now, where if a will call customer has a order in processing and say the routes are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, um, but their order is not going to be ready by Wednesday and their next delivery date is going to be Friday. People wanted the ability to still send out a will call opt-in message to all of their will call employees, or sorry, not employees, customers. So turning this on, it will ignore that order that is in processing, which previously, if they had that order in processing, they would not get any messages until that was delivered. So that might be something to consider if you were one of the companies that wanted that. And then as for another highly requested feature, allow the same email and phone number for different customers. So here, turning this on, now you can have the same email and the same phone number on multiple accounts. That's it. It is what it sounds like. All right. Let me know
Now,
if,
Now, just for that last setting, he was showing you guys. I know a lot of you guys have customers that you might deactivate because they have paid or owe balances or anything like that. If you turn that setting on, it does not let you know that there's a customer that already exists with the same information. Okay, so if it does, it's going to show you a customer that already exists with the same information, but it's still going to allow you to create the account anyway. So if they do owe you a balance, it's just something to make sure you guys check or reference or see why the account got deactivated. Just keep that in mind before turning that setting on.
oh, I see what you're saying. So it does not show if there are deactivated customers with the same thing. Yes, that is correct. But it does show you in like a yellow prompt. It does say, hey, customer, and in parentheses, just shows their customer ID has this same information, and it's just an information bubble, really. But all right, let's go with Brian.
Hey, just the first setting that you had, that you spoke to, that's if there's an order, like, because right now there are some people that turn on that are delivery customers that are alterations that are longer than the normal window that we normally have for dry cleaning. I should turn this setting on so that they still get the pick up reminders even though their order's still there, correct?
Yeah, correct. You are cutting out a little bit, but I think I fully
Does
understand.
that make
You've got some
like
orders that are still there, and they're going to be there longer than what they normally are, and you still want them to
Yeah.
get those route reminders. So yeah, I would definitely turn it on for you. Yep.
correct? Yeah. All right. Where is that at again?
Yeah. Yeah, so it can be done on the account level as well. Let me share my screen really quick so everybody can see it. Give me a second. Everything just went away. Okay, cool. Hopefully you can see this. I'll just start from the beginning. Settings, business settings, and system settings. Then we're going to move over to the company settings tab. And for that specific setting, scroll past all of this. And it's right after your schedule will call. It's with your will call settings already, but it's just below that. Ignore undelivered orders for will call opt-in reminders. All right, we've got Enrique.
Hey, it's more of an understanding. I'm just really curious about how do you guys determine, or if there's like a video or like a blog where I can understand more of like how do you break down or customers that are like, you know, that have the colors like orange, light green, dark green, purple. And the only reason I'm asking this is because I think a couple of weeks ago there was somebody talking about it, and I really wanted to figure that out. Like, because there's customers like they'll be like a one-time customers because I know, and then they'll stay like purple for like a very long time. And yeah, we might have done like a wedding gown or something. Um, but other customers that have been using those and I see them regularly, and I know like I'll go to the account and it might be like under $2,000 in 2 years or 3 years. How do you guys determine that, or is there something else where I could look at it and I'm like, oh, this make I just want to know. I just want to know.
Yeah, that's understandable. So I'll just go over the colors real quick if people are unfamiliar. This is the best way that I usually look at it or show it. So you may not be able to see this, but if you hover over the individual bubble on this specific customers report. So I just went to reports and then customer. And here it's going to give me a full breakdown of customers. And generally people come here to look at if they've lost customers or, just customer statistics. But here the purple means that they're a top 20% spender. And then I'll get into your question of the 20% thing here in a second, but each of these are 20% increasing all the way up. So the dark green is upper mid spenders, so technically 40%. Then your lower mid spenders would be 60. And then orange being bottom spenders at 80 percentile. And then almost to no spending is obviously gray, and generally that's a new customer as well.
Okay, well, and the thing is where I go with this is like I have customers that have been with us for a while, and they'll be at the gray. Like they'll essentially be like a no spender, but I'm like, this customer does spend money, and somehow it's there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think Mike might be able to explain it better, but I'm pretty
And
sure
I
it's
just want to
based
know more. I
on.
don't have. It's not necessarily an issue. I just like want to have an understanding more of like, and essentially, I think ideally, right, is to push all those customers, the orange customers, up the ladder, push the green light, up the ladder. That just makes sense. Just curious.
Hey, Enrique, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I think you were asking about the what defines the demographics, right?
Yes.
in particular. So it's we track a statistic that we call monthly spending, and monthly spending is actually what determines which demographic a given customer lands in. And the monthly spending is, in the vast majority of cases, it's calculated exactly the way you would expect. You take up all the orders for each month and average them over. I think it's a rolling, it's either 3 or 4 month period. However, something kind of weird happens if they only have one order. If they have one order, they end up in being over-reported as a better spender than they are because of the way it affects the average. So you may notice that occasionally, but for the most part, it's just their monthly spending for the last several months averaged compared to everyone else's monthly spending for the last several months averaged. And then we take that list of all your customers and divide it into chunks of 20%. So however many customers you have, we divide that by 5. And then the top X customers that are that, it's that many customers, whatever your total divided by 5, that's your top percentile. So that's the purple customers, the top demographic, and so on down the list with the other colors. Does that make a little more sense?
I'm following. I was just
Okay.
kind of curious, just because, again, kind of to your point, there is, like, I'll see a brand new customer, and yes, they'll have an order of like $100, $200, and they'll just push them automatically to a purple customer. And I'm like, well, I'm just curious, that's all. I like to know more about it, and thank you for sharing this with me, because it makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. And those customers, once they have their second order, it should correct their average, and then they'll fall back into the correct spending demographic. It's just kind of a quirk of how we do that calculation when we only have one data point, but we're trying to divide it by more than one, sort of.
No, totally. Thank you, Mike. Got it.
All right. Yep.
All right. Let's go on to, I think Brandy was next, and then we'll go on to Amy.
I have a question about the deliveries. How do I pause, or like when someone's on vacation, we're not sending them out messages, whether it's, they're actually on vacation, or if they're on a business trip, because I don't want to be bothering somebody when they have other things that are going on. Is there a way that I can mute their notifications just temporarily, like put a date range in for them? And then I have a second question after that one too.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. So those can be done on an individual basis. You can go into their account and actually put them on a route hold. I believe it's under the route tab. So if you have let's see, I would need to find somebody, but I believe it's under the route tab, and then it'll say route hold in the bottom left. See if I can find one really quick. Yep, I've got one right here. Okay, so right here, I clicked on the person's name, went to the route tab, and then you'll see this route hold here. Obviously, whatever delivery type they are will be different probably, but go ahead, route hold, add route, and then you can select the date range that you want, and then you can save it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then my second question would be is how do I do promotions or set up promotions that are just like temporarily, like a seasonal thing?
So that one's a bit more in depth. I would definitely, have you read the promotions? I guess the promotions article that we have.
I have not. Usually I go through Smart Learning and kind of just skim through there and just kind of learn things through that away. So.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so this is a little bit more in depth, but essentially I would recommend that be a coupon first. So you would want to create a coupon, and because the main thing, you probably already know this, and most people probably do, but the biggest difference between a coupon and a discount is the discount attaches to the customer and can go onto any order, depending on restrictions, obviously. And then the coupons are order based. So you can add it, say it's a 10% off coupon for summer, for a summer time frame, depending on if you're putting a time frame on there or not. Those can be added to individual orders rather than just a blanket customer account.
Okay.
But if you want help setting up that promotion, I would definitely reach out to us and then we can kind of help you through it.
Okay, I probably will do that. For at least
Yeah.
the first couple times I do it. Yeah, because how they have it set up, that we've had the same promotions for ever and a day, and then we did your marketing, and so we've gotten some more promotions and marketing ones, but I kind of want to offer other things to our customers to kind of keep traffic coming in, because this is our slow season right now.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and then also if you want to join my office hours throughout the week, you could do that, and then I can also help you through that too.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. All right, let's move on to Amy.
Hi, guys. I have a question regarding the web version of Smart. I used to be able to create an order in a customer's account on the web version. I work remotely a lot, but I'm unable to do that now. Is that a setting that I can do or something that I have to request from you?
So that technically means that you are not connected to a station, which is probably done for billing purposes because your owner probably doesn't want to get charged for that, just to be completely transparent. So what that does is it allows you to do everything else and not be tracked by our billing.
Okay.
So it's probably for the best that you don't add orders, because then you're going to trigger our billing cycle, and then a station will be added to the bill.
Okay. I was talking to him about it earlier, and that's what he thought, but wanted me to ask. I do have one other question though.
Yeah.
When I receive messages through Smart, either through other dry cleaners or front counter customers. If I open them, but I don't get to them right away, my little red bubble that reminds me to respond to it goes away, but I can't mark it as unread.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
a
that I
that's a
know
good
to
point.
follow up on it.
That's a good point. We're about to write that down and set it. See if we can add a mark as unread button,
That
because
would
I'm
be
sure a lot of
wonderful.
people use that or would find that convenient.
Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, and I figured I would ask while we have everybody in here, do we have anybody, since it's the beginning of the month, are there anybody that has questions about statements? Figure ask here. Looks like we've got a couple new people that just joined. So if you are unfamiliar with our setup, you can go ahead and hit the react button to raise your hand, just like Brian did. And then we will get to your question as soon as we're done with the next one. So let's go to Brian.
All right. Another one came to mind. What's the timeout, the web login timeout for the browser? So what I'm trying to do is create a dashboard, or I create a dashboard. I have a screen that I want to have in the production area. Will I be auto logged out if I have this dashboard up and auto refresh selected?
Yes, but I believe that the logout time is 60 minutes. Not, yeah, just the reports.
All right.
So are you refreshing like an auto refresh on the reports dashboard or for the actual browser itself? Because there is a widget for that.
I was planning on using the auto refresh in the reports page.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, then you should be fine. But I believe it takes 60 minutes for it to log you out, and then you'll have to go back in and log in.
Even with the auto refresh on?
Yeah, yep, even with auto refresh on. Yep.
All right. And then I guess is there a way to auto log in and go pull up this page? I guess it's something that's great. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
sure if there's an auto way to log in. Yeah, I mean the best thing would be to
Yeah,
have the Google passwords. Yeah. Is that it, Brian? All right, Brian, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you, but I'm going to go ahead and mute you and lower your hand. And we're going to move on to Enrique.
Hey, and then I have another question, and this is regarding, I think, I don't know, I'm assuming you guys did it automatically. I've been noticing customers that have been with us for a while, for some reason, they're getting like brand new texts, like as if they were a brand new customer, just like, when a first customer walks in, there's that opening text. I was just curious. I'm seeing that, I don't know, we changed it, like I changed it manually a little bit. Is that because I did that, or is it something on your guys' end? I'm just seeing that from like a customer that's been with us for a year. They always get that text when it's done, but now when they bring in a new order, not all the time, not all customers, but some customers are getting another opening text, just being like, "Hey, thank you for using so and so, blah blah blah. We'll notify you when we're ready." Why is that happening? Is that something on our end, or did you guys just like change something on settings or something like that?
Well, we haven't made any changes to it. I would suspect a few things, right? If the customer has never received the text before or had a different phone number, that'll cause that problem. And then
Same phone number.
but if it's the same phone number and it's the same, and the customer already got that message previously in the past, two things could happen. If they change carriers, it does the same thing because it's a new introduction. So if I take my number from Verizon to T-Mobile or
Got it.
whatever,
Got it.
that could cause that as well. It just really depends. Like you can see it in different variations, but it's nothing that we do specifically that will cause it.
Okay. And again, I'm just curious, that happened just kind of automatically, because I changed it. I kept it for like the longest as I could, the way you guys set it out for us, and then I just changed it a little bit
Yeah,
the
because
way I wanted it. Go ahead. Go
what
ahead.
would trigger it was when you changed it, it triggers that message to be updated. So if the system recognizes that, oh, this message was never received by this number and carrier, then let's resend this message because they've never gotten it before. That's what it looks like to the system, right? That they've never gotten it before. But in reality, it could have already existed on the same phone number, but because
Okay,
of
I'm
whatever
following.
change.
I'm following.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious, and I don't mind. I think it's kind of nice just to be reminded, I guess, that opening. It's just a little bit odd because I'm like, this customer has been with us for a couple of years, and now they're kind of getting that another brand new text, which is fine. I just prefer. I don't. I prefer to use texting a lot, but I don't want to text customers a lot, and unless it's very intentional, unless we want to ask for something, unless we need to communicate with them, unless we want to like send a promotion or like ask for feedback or something like that.
Yeah, it is odd though. Yeah, we should still look at it, but yeah, I could see that being the cause of some of the reasons why that something like that would happen. But we can check into it just definitely. If we find anything else, I'll let you know.
So, thank you.
All right, and Brian put in the chat, has anyone else seen failure to deliver release to some carriers because of size of text? And I will say, yes, this is becoming more frequent because I believe it's AT&T and Verizon both have started cracking down on types of messages that are going out. Specifically, they're looking at message templates that have been copied and pasted from somewhere. So a big thing, Brian, that I would send us in a ticket, but let us know if there's a specific template, and this goes for really anybody. If there's a specific template that's causing issues, or that you're oftenly seeing this this error, because we can go through and pick out it's probably one character, probably like an apostrophe or something, that is triggering this to where it's sending it as a different type of message, which the carriers just recently blocked. So just let us know if you are encountering that issue, and then we can go through and help you with it. Perfect. Oh, all right, we got Christy.
I probably missed some past meeting or something. Has the Android version of the delivery route thing been released? I got the email about the Apple, and it said, still waiting on the Android version.
Yeah, so I think if you go to the App Store right now, it should be available to you. I'm pretty sure the newest version for Android and Apple is 1.0.5, and 0.6 should be released within the next couple days. We are still working on the white screen issue that a lot of people have been running into. Sometimes it does do a black screen as well, but it's basically like a freezing. But still, definitely report any weird behavior that you guys get. And then if you are seeing that the app is not updating, so if people are to open their app right now and it says, oh, I'm on 1.0.3 or something, you can always go to the App Store. Generally, you can look at already downloaded apps and it'll show that it has an update on it. You can also go in, depending on the phone, but you can look at auto updates.
Okay. All right, because we do want to try it out, compared to the old way, see if we like it better.
Yeah, definitely. And I will say that you didn't, or it may seem that you, at first, when people first jump into it, they think that they've lost capabilities with the new app, but actually everything is there. Some things could be hidden. Like one thing was like adding stops. Some people didn't know how to do that, which it's in the menu button at the bottom, which is our most random tasks that you may have to do as a driver, would be in that menu button whenever you're under manifest. And I think that's really the only one that's been giving some people some issues.
Okay. I think I'll try it out with like one, because we have like 3 delivery stations. So maybe I'll just try it with one, the one that the guy that does the commercial route, and start with that because it's a little slower and, not as crazy, and get the feet wet that way.
Yeah, I definitely suggest that for people who are uneasy about moving over to the new app. Just with some people hearing bad reports of really just the white screen that scares people away. But yeah, dipping your toes in and just doing one route is definitely fine too. There's no
Okay.
rush to move over to the new app. It's all
right.
optional.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. All right, and Mubin.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I had a question, and I kind of joined a little late, so I don't know if it was already discussed or not. When I go to the report section under the KPI dashboard, I'm trying to create I know it's customizable in a certain, to a certain extent, and I'm trying to do that on my end, because I know that I've called Smart before and I've asked them, hey, I want to look at this specific thing every day, which would be for example, consumer spending or customer spendings and all that stuff, which they were able to do for me. It's just I'm trying to see if there's any way I can do something on my end where I can, put in my little customizations where I can see the types of things that I want to see based off of a location or the types of services we provide, etc.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, everybody has the capability to do this. Let me get this out of my face real quick. Cool. So First place that you would want to go is KPI config if you are trying to generate new reports, or if you're even trying to look up old reports that people have that they've made, years ago even. Here are the categories tab, which would be anything that is already created and in the system, broken down based on report type. Now, if you're looking at specific tags, which is just a way to group reports together to easily identify them and add them to employees without having to do one by one report, if that makes sense. And I can, okay.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. And
Yeah, so
I mean, it's going to be like based off, I can do it based off of like just my location, and then another one that's using Smart as a different business, it can do that as well, right?
yeah, yep, exactly. So, and then
So
if you
whatever
wanted
fits.
to edit any reports that are already made, you could view it through the tags or the categories, whichever you'd like. But you would click into
Okay.
it as long as you're in KPI config and you have this wrench option.
Okay.
Here you can go through each of the filters, which is really all a report is just filtering down the information that you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great.
And
Thank you.
so each report has its own capabilities and limitations. That's one of the biggest things. So if I'm looking for item specific things, I'm going to want to look in an items report. If I'm looking for just a broad range reports for orders, then I can check out orders. But it's not going to have specific customer information like has a card on file or something like that.
Okay, so like for example, I can add almost like a quick link to my assembly chart that shows me how many items are not assembled yet. And then at the end of the day, I can click that and see that everything has been assembled, or it's, there's no items like missing or unaccounted for. I'll be able to do that right up there on the top left, right?
Technically, yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Anybody have any other questions? In the meantime, if you have put in a support ticket, you may see that it does ask you, hey, do you want to join a live meeting? That is a live meeting with one of our support agents, or myself or Chris or Mike, whoever's available at the time can join it. It may take a couple minutes for us to get in there. It does send us an alert, and then as long as nobody's on the phone, they can jump in there and take a look. We're looking at refining it to make it easier and better for everybody who joins in, but that should be available to everybody as of right now. And then again, I'm doing office hours every day, 10 to 11, and then 3 to 4, except for after this meeting, I'm not doing it 3 to 4.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Mike, and the rest of the team. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's go with Enrique.
Hey, just another quick question. I'm looking towards later on this month. I think you guys are going to be wrapping up this live sessions. Are you guys doing anything for throughout the rest of the year, or is it just I'm just seeing the scheduling? Are you guys going onto like August and forward, or is it just like wrapping up by the end of this month for this? Just because I find it's very important. It helps us a ton. To figure out a bunch of stuff and. Just curious.
Yeah. So
So basically what we've been doing was figuring out if this worked for everyone and if it didn't. So we've been collecting surveys and getting feedback from you guys after each one of these sessions. So based off of that feedback, right, is how we're going to determine the next schedule. So as of right now, all this feedback has been pretty positive. So I have a strong belief we'll probably be still doing this for a while. So that's where we're looking at right now. But also with the new kind of functions that we have coming as well, things could change. Like support has their own live daily session kind of thing going to start. So
And
that could,
that's with Tyler, right? You're doing that throughout the middle of the day, 2 sessions, right? You're doing Tyler.
yeah, yeah. So Tyler does 2 a day. that's with his own office hours, but support has a new function in the support section. If you actually request a live chat, you'll get a chat just like this with the support team, and it'll probably be other people in the same room with you, just in case you guys have the same questions, that kind of thing. And then they just go in order from who came in and answer your questions right away. So it's the same formula, different space kind of thing, but it all depends on how everything works out. This was the webinar was a test run for us. We haven't done something to this scale yet, but a lot of positive feedback came from it. So we're just trying to figure out other ways to help our client base and our customers, right?
Yeah, totally. Just again, just because I find this very valuable, and I know they're wrapping up, and you know, I know nothing lasts forever, but this is definitely very important.
Perfect. Yeah, we definitely see the value in it. So we'll probably definitely be still doing this for a little while longer.
Perfect. That was it.
Awesome. Brandy.
The only question I have, will y'all be in Orlando in August?
I will not be. I'm not sure if Chris is.
Yeah, some of us will be. So you'll probably see, you probably won't see Tyler, but you'll probably see me. You'll probably see Josh. You'll probably see a few of us. So, but we will be there as a company. We will be
Okay,
in,
that's why I was
yes,
kind of curious.
we will be there. Yes.
All right, that was the only question I had.
All right, looks like we don't have any more questions currently, so we're about to post the poll and then yeah, have a great rest of the day.